It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk. Let's go, man.
Hey, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
Hey, Sean, you at home right now? Get back in there. I will kick you.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
It's your guy.
What you gotta say to the camera?
Yes, sir. TP Way the Giant.
Knowing is all you want to. We built for this shit. We don't fold, motherfuckers. We don't fucking fold.
Son, I gotta do better than this.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to your New York Giant Lieutenants. I am your guy, TP Way, and with me, I have the one and only from Born for Sports, of course.
Yes, sir.
Jorge, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling all right, man. I'm feeling all right. I wish I'm feeling a little better than what I saw yesterday, but there's some positives that I did like, and I'm ready to talk about it, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We David from the Giant Way. Unfortunately, he has some business to attend to, so he won't be on with us for this episode. But best believe we'll be back at it like we never left on our next joint. So yeah, let's just get straight into it because I don't want to, spend too much time. But this conversation is definitely necessary. I know people just couldn't wait to hit me up, was blowing my phone up, blowing my Twitter up, hitting me on IG, all types of stuff. So let's talk about it. The New York Giants' second preseason game for the season versus the Houston Texans is officially in the books. And, of course, we are the talk of the town. Of course, there's a lot of overreactions. There's a lot of just drama-full vibes going on right now. And let's just break this thing down, man. Let's deep dive into this thing. First, I just want to say, look, man, hats off to the Texans. Hats off to the Texans because I'm gonna be real. I've never seen this type of aura or vibe from the Texans. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Like I already told you, oh hey, look, I brought my sound bar. I'm getting ready for the season to start. So in this man cave area, this is where I watch my game. So I'm trying to get my setup right so I can have the best game watching experience. And I had my sound bar on, and when the game initially just first started, I could tell it was lit in there. Mm-hmm. I could tell that Houston and their fans was just going bananas in there just to see their first team present itself and things of that nature. So
CJ Stroud got that buzz popping out there, man.
I definitely thought this was a good test. Playing a good team, but also playing what feels like a true away game. So I feel like that is kind of what we saw. But yeah, what was your experience like? I think you said, was you at work watching it, or what was you doing?
Oh no, I was in the house watching it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I took it as, and I knew coming into this game, this was going to be a test for us because Houston's one of the best teams in the AFC. I believe, they made some good additions in the offseason. They brought in Danielle Hunter to help the pass rush. They added Stephon Diggs, of course, a true number one receiver to that wide receiver room that's already pretty good. Mm-hmm. CJ Stroud going to year 2. I knew this was going to be a challenge for the Giants. Now, they didn't play their top pass rushers yesterday, but that defense is a solid defense with or without those guys. So, definitely was a good test for us, man.
For sure. There was a lot of things that I particularly wanted to pay attention to, and we got some short answers, man. But let's not waste too much time, man. Let's get into it. Mm-hmm. First play of the game, which seemed like the Texans was kicking off the energy just with the fact that they wanted to start on defense. I think that was a part of the momentum shift right there. Daniel Jones goes out into the field in the very first play of the game. It seems like everybody kind of ran the stop route or a curl route, and it was no thought to it. There was no progression to it. It was a boom. I'm gonna hit Malik Neighbors, and for me, I think that was the intent. I think that was what they drew up, like going into this game or whatever. I think it was literally listen, let's just go ahead and put the ball in Malik Neighbors' hands on just a quick stop route,
For sure.
just to get the field.
Especially after last week when they didn't even get the kid a target.
Exactly. So that's honestly what I thought. I don't think it was one of those things where it was like a, second read type thing. Just by the approach of it, I just think it was a boom. And that was ugly. That was ugly because that almost was a pick.
Yeah. It should have been a pick. Let's be honest. He dropped it.
It should have been a pick. It should have been a pick.
Kind of set the tone for the day for the first quarter anyway.
Well, I see what you're saying, but I'm gonna tell you what I think a lot of people are not really talking about as far as that drive is concerned.
I know exactly what you're gonna say too, because I definitely mentioned it in my video yesterday.
Did you? Okay, yeah, that's right. Yup,
Mm-hmm.
you did. And I wasn't a fan of Malik Neighbors' route. First of all, he did nothing to have. I think it was Stingley who was guarding him at the time. I'm not sure who the corner was, but he never even turned his hips. He just sat there and he just knew that route was coming. And I don't think Malik Neighbors sold it at all. First of all, Malik Neighbors is a really good route runner. But I think because he knew he was going to get the ball, I think he was just so anxious to get there that he kind of rushed his route a little bit. And overall, I'm not gonna take away from the blame of Daniel Jones, because if it's not there, and if that's your first route, you got to throw that thing out of bounds.
Straight up.
Or you got to keep it and see if you could make something happen, with your legs.
Absolutely.
So I want to be clear that everyone has a reason to be critical of Daniel Jones and his decisions, but I also want to be fair and talk about the all-around assessment of things.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The second thing, if my memory serves correct, I think we ran like a run play or a screen or something like that. I don't even know the order of events at this point on what happened or whatever. But what I do know is we took a shot to Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
And
should have been caught. Should have been caught.
That's my thing. You know what I mean?
That was the third down. Yeah, that was the
third down. It was the third down.
Right.
And I felt like that would have been the big momentum shifter for this offense and for this team.
Right.
People, they love to get on Daniel Jones, but my whole thing with this whole thing is going to be about is let's have a balance to this thing. Now, we have to have high standards for Malik Neighbors as well. Just because we're high on him, just because he's a rookie, he's a professional now. He's our wide receiver number one. He understands that. And down the line, I'm pretty sure that when a contract time comes, he's going to want to be compensated for the work that he has done. But we have to look at him as such. There's no pacifying that we could do. This is my sister right here who's a Cowgirl fan. But anyway, yeah.
I was about to say, is that your alter ego, bro? That name there. I was like,
that's my sis right there.
I bet.
We all TP way, man. We
Oh,
all, So, but anyway,
Uh-huh.
my thing is, we had conversations in training camp of Malik Neighbors, dropping some balls or whatever, this and that.
Right.
And I don't think it's something to overreact with. I don't think it's this big thing. But when it comes to the accountability standpoint, he has to catch those balls. He catches that. I think that whole drive is a whole different scenario.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. My take on that would be like, from what I saw, first of all, let me just go back to the first play.
Right.
I like you said, I think you hit on it right on the head. Maybe he ran a little bit of a lazy route there. But I gotta go to the 6-year vet quarterback. Don't throw him the ball. That's Derek Stingley over there, baby. Don't throw on the ball. It's okay to throw an incompletion and go on to the next play, But I think what it was is DJ was so excited in his own right, probably like, "Hey man, I'm out here. Let's do it." He wanted to make sure we feed that kid because we didn't give him a target last week, so he forced it in there. He didn't look anywhere else. He just went right. If you watch the play, he didn't look around. He didn't go through any read progression, which is a story for another day with him. But he went right, locked on Neighbors, and tried to throw the ball. Got to know who's defending that kid, And was it a better route? Could have been run? Absolutely. But, DJ got to throw that ball away. Now, as far as the pass that Neighbors did drop, I felt like he just tried to turn a catchable ball into a spectacular catchable ball, and that was his downfall in that play. That's a play Neighbors has to make. He has to make. When the games count, I expect him to make that play. Okay, because I saw him do it in college on a constant basis in LSU. That's what made me fall in love with the draft pick of getting him if we didn't go quarterback. So I need to see that regular season, and especially at MetLife, like if I'm sitting in the stands and I see him trying to do that, that's going to really piss me off. But at the end of the day, the kid, he has a flair for the dramatic. Later on in the game, he made some spectacular catches, but I think he will learn that, hey, just make the routine play and move on to the next play.
Exactly.
It cost him.
Exactly. It cost him.
And it cost DJ, because I thought that was a good DJ throw on that one. That was a good throw.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Let's talk about the next one. The next one is clear as cut. Boneheaded play by Daniel Jones. I'm not even gonna it ain't really too much to deep dive about that. That was what we don't like about Daniel Jones. That's what frustrates us about him. I understand as a quarterback, you want to make a play, but in order to be a quarterback that leads your offense or that is effective, you have to understand you have to live for another down, and then that is a marathon, not a race.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't make that decision. I mean, and I understand he's working off the rust. There's some plays in the game you could clearly see it was the plays that were made were due to rust. I know Giant Twitter and all those haters out there are going to say, no, he just sucks. No, there is an element to this performance that was rust related, but that is a play. You can't put it on rust. That's just decision making, man.
I'm glad you said that because that's how I feel. That wasn't a rust thing.
No.
That was just a mental breakdown. That was your car on the side of the road type situation.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like, I understand. Look, and a lot of people, I don't even want to base opinions on Twitter because that's whatever. But a lot of people don't even understand that if you throw an intentional grounding while you are back in the Houston Texans red zone,
right,
then that's going to be an automatic safety.
Right.
I understand that, but guess what? Still no excuse.
No.
Still no excuse because I will take the safety before I will take a pick six.
Absolutely, bro.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah, and also to counter that, he had enough time in there. First of all, the clock, that the pocket presence, like that's what drives us Giant fans crazy. Drives you crazy, me crazy. Everyone that's watched this team the last 6 years with him at the court, the pocket presence, not feeling or holding the ball too long. When you're backed up in that end zone, dog, that first read ain't there. You got to come off that and get rid of it, point blank. And he could have. I would have just took him the intentional ground, like you said, if it had to be that. But he could have just threw that ball into the ground in front of the tight end.
Could have. He very much could have.
Throw a ground ball, baby. Ground ball that sucker.
That's it, man. That's it. And I think, but the main thing that bothers me with DJ, which I feel like in 22 he did, but I think what bothers me with DJ is make a decision and stick with it.
Right.
Now, if the decision doesn't go as planned, as we'll talk about later, I'm fine with that. But I want you to be decisive with it and aggressive with it.
Absolutely.
Now, you have running abilities. Now, of course, I got to run back and I got to see what that pocket looked like. But I'm just saying from a resume standpoint, a history standpoint, if it's not there, take off and see what you could get.
That's it.
See what you could get.
Gotcha.
But
especially in your own end zone, man. Especially in your own end zone.
Especially your own end zone.
Truth. I mean,
and I'm only saying this to say because I want people to understand that there is an accountability aspect to this.
Absolutely.
There is, and I'm not trying to take away from that. Furthermore, let's defense is on the field, and it's starters versus starters for the most part. And my unpopular, thoughts when it comes to this is that I liked what our defense was looking like. I think we was soft coverage wise. I remember us kind of having this conversation about Michael McFadden, as far as him coverage wise in the passing game. But I think we was a little soft as far as the coverage is concerned.
Yeah.
But I think all in all, when it came down to it, I liked how Deonte Banks played the ball. I mean, you have a receiver like Nico who's just he's gonna make plays. And I'm not wet behind the ears to say that Deonte Banks just needs to stop everybody at all times. No, that's not reality.
No,
I just appreciate the fact that Deonte Banks didn't make it easy for nobody. So even the play that was made, he was on him.
Yeah.
And
could have been a push-off call as well, too.
And it could have been a push-off call. Definitely. So overall, I just think it was a good drive by the defense. Their first team offense didn't score any points. And mainly, I was just excited to see what we looked like in that red zone.
I love that red zone defense, baby. I loved it.
Fact. Our D-line did exactly what I have envisioned for them to do.
Right.
Get CJ Stroud uncomfortable, have him get out that pocket, have him make a decision on a run, and we can live to see another down. Everybody on that defensive line made a play during that stretch.
Absolutely.
Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Elijah Chapman. So, I love that.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to put Deonte Banks on the test and throw a go route to Stephon Diggs. Great job.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Yep.
I mean, from a defense standpoint, I don't think that you can really ask for a better first drive.
Right. Absolutely agree. Like you said, they seem to be playing soft coverage. It's kind of like what Bowen kind of does in the secondary, but not really. Of course, he's not going to show his hand too much. But, I love the goal line defense and the point of attack on both sides of the ball with the Giants. We'll get to that, to the other side soon. But I thought the goal line defense was great. And the way I looked at it is like this. When they got in there after the play that Collins made on Banks, I guess when he pushed off, whatever, they threw a goal line fade to Diggs, I believe it was, and he stopped it. Good coverage, played it very well. Then you got Tibbs. You know, there was a play he made that I want to emphasize because we've been talking.
Yeah.
You know what we've been talking about, baby.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm glad you
with our
seen
homies, and you know, there was a play that he made on the edge. He set the edge very well on the run, stayed there, disengaged, and made the tackle.
David, are you watching?
Dave,
are you watching? Yes. That
was a very good play. That was a very good play,
and
something I was excited and happy to see because you could tell that, first of all, the anticipation of it, he was not fooled. He stood at home and kept his assignment, something that he did not do with Wink for a lot of reasons we can get into that we have already gotten into. But I love that play. I love to see him getting tough in that run game because we've been talking about this. It's the only thing that's keeping him from taking another step as a premier pass rusher and defensive player in this league. That was a good play. And then there was another play that where there was a good rush. He had a good rush up the field. Stroud kind of moved around. Chapman pushed the pocket, had to get rid of it.
Was it a holding? Did they call a holding on that
play? They call a holding, yes. They call a holding, but however, it was offset because they call a pass interference, I think, in the back of the end, so offset the plays. But I thought that was a good that was a good play as well.
Yes,
you know, it just got wiped out, unfortunately, because both teams offset the penalties. But still, I didn't want to overlook that. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And then, you know, third down. I believe that was a third down play when that happened. So now let's just go to fourth down, right? Fourth down. This is what I envision with this giant defensive line, who I'm on record as saying I believe will be the best defensive line in the division this year. Okay. Because it was a contribution from all of the guys that I expect to make this D line in front seven amongst the best.
Exactly.
You had to play, first of all, tremendous first step. Burns with the quick spin, and he gets in there. Stroud moves, and at the same time, Chapman's pushing the pocket, so Stroud has to roll. Tibbs gets around, and then gets rid of it quick, and then Dex bats the ball. They stop him on fourth down. That was prototype. It was
icing on the cake.
Right there. That's what I want to see this year. Prototype Giants, because this is the way the Giant defense is going to have to win until they figure out some things in the cornerback room in the back end this season.
That's a fact.
They got to have their front seven become what we expect them to become and keep them in these games, man. And that was just, I love what I saw there. And I thought that was a real big positive because this is a good Texans offensive line that they played yesterday. And they were not backing down. That's a good offensive team.
That's a fact.
And they had all their starters in, including their new additions with Diggs. They didn't back down. They weren't getting pushed back. They were tough on the run. I think that's a real positive. We need to focus on that.
That's the thing I feel like people are not really mentioning. The Texans are no slouch.
No, they're not. No.
This is not no walk in the park preseason, willy-nilly. No. This is a team going into the season with momentum, and that's going to put a lot of foot on necks this season.
I believe they're the best team in their division, too.
Come on, man.
Got Super Bowl expectations, and rightfully so.
That's a fact. Last man standing. Peace, Giants family. One love.
What's up, brother?
How about our starting defense? Bend, don't break. I agree. A lot of good things about the pass rush. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No doubt about it.
And also, you know, during that stretch, I was thinking about you. I think we played the run pretty well.
Point of attack, baby.
I think we played the run pretty well. So
yes, I do. Yeah.
Just from a defense standpoint, I liked what I seen from them for sure. Again, the cornerback too. We'll hit on that, but we definitely that's where we weak at.
No, you said it right, TP. Because at the end of the day, like they weren't getting pushed around, man. This is something that we kept seeing the last couple of years, man, and they were ready for the task. And honestly, they might have found something with this Chapman kid too. He got some first team snaps in there with the first team yesterday, and he looked like he actually belonged in what they were doing. So hey, listen, let's see what it do, man. I just like the fact that they stood up and they held their own, and that was what I like to see.
Yes,
now in regular season, they probably would have kicked the field goal, whatever.
Right.
But let's be honest. If a team goes out there on 4th and goal, last couple of years, we thinking, well, especially last year, we thinking like, man, they didn't kick the field goal. Damn, nah. This time we was like, okay, let's see the test, and they passed it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And look, I wish they would have kicked the field goal, because then maybe we wouldn't have had this pick six situation.
Yeah.
But let's go over to the next turnover when it comes to Daniel Jones. I think even in that, man, I think what people are not given credit for is that you take away those 2 plays, Daniel Jones looked good. And that is just my issue with this whole analysis of his play. What we really wanted from Daniel Jones is to make sure that he was throwing the balls that gave his receivers a chance. And I think he succeeded in that. When we talk about the interception to Jalen Hyatt, now, everybody just loves to hit at the fact that, okay, Daniel Jones should have thrown a better ball, which I'm not disagreeing with. Yes, it could have been a better ball. That's for sure. But I also believe that when we're talking about the game, we can't always look at things from in a perfect world perspective. You look at your favorite quarterbacks, they are not throwing the ball right on the money, right where it needs to be every single time. What they're doing is they're giving their receiver a good amount of space to make a play. That's what a lot of times what is going on. Yes, I understand. You want your quarterback to have good ball placement. But in the reality of things, that is just not going to always happen. With that situation, I'm not trying to take any onus away from Daniel Jones. If he puts the ball where it needs to be, I don't think that play happens like that at all, because Hyatt had him beat. But there's 2 things that people are not mentioning. For one, that was just a spectacular play on ball by Stingley?
Yep, he played it well.
Yo,
hey, he's one of the best in the league.
90% of corners ain't making that play like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that right now. I was just a good way to just reach out, throw his hands out, and make a play, good hands, and make a play on the ball. But for 2, I don't think Jalen Hyatt played the ball aggressive enough. I'm just trying to understand why there was no breakdown or no analyzing of Jalen Hyatt high pointing that ball, or even, let's say, if there wasn't an opportunity for him to do so. How many times have we seen a receiver where he understands that, listen, that ball, maybe it's a place where I can't get it, where I feel like he could have had his hands on it, but let's say worst case scenario, you got to play cornerback at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, forget that. I just don't think he was aggressive enough at all. I think he was expecting for it to be in that bucket, and he
That's
didn't.
exactly what it was.
He just didn't reach it at the high point.
Yeah,
but when it comes to those 50-50 balls, honestly, your receiver has to be aggressive in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, when I'm saying this, it is not me trying to say that Daniel Jones shouldn't have thrown a better ball. SETI 079 says, I give Jones some slack, but I say he needs to see a hypnosis to be hypnotized to forget about the past 5 years. Last man standing. Listen, y'all, that pass from Daniel Jones could have thrown a better ball, but Jalen Hyatt has to get stronger also. He kind of got led out of bounds. You right, fam.
Yeah.
I just think there could have been, as a receiver guy, y'all know I'm a receiver guy. I just think there could have been more aggressiveness. And I think when they go back and look at film, they're going to pinpoint that. And Jalen Hyatt, I think he is going to even say, okay, I could have been a little bit more aggressive when it comes to that. Yeah. And you want to have your quarterback's trust. Because if your quarterback throws a ball like that, as a receiver, you want your quarterback to understand that I can make that happen. You heard how the exchange with Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones was. Malik Neighbors said, yo, throw it near me. All you got to do is put the ball near me, and I will make it happen. Mm-hmm. That is the receiver mind that I like for my receivers to have.
No doubt, no question.
Jorge, real quick, I want you to touch on that. But listen, let me bring this up. We got TJ in the chat again, man. Yo, for years, I am telling you, for years, he has a way of pissing me off, man. He just knows.
What up, TJ? What's good, bro?
He knows when to say it. He knows how to say it. Yo, he was pissing me off during this game. Now, he says, I don't hear enough accountability here, Chad. Yo, he was the one hitting me up during this period of time. Yeah. When Daniel Jones threw that first pick, right? He started moving the ball up the field, and I'm like, yo, tune in. Because he was catching some steam. So I'm like, yo, he cooking right now. Like, yo, you worrying about that one pick? I'm like, watch him now. Because I'm thinking we're going to make it to this end zone.
Right.
Then when he threw that second pick, it was just like, I had no wiggle room to kind of, have any bullets to fight the fight. But it was just like, damn. So, yeah. This fan right here, y'all who's tuned in to the NFC East Soldiers.
Don't worry, TJ. We're gonna see you week 2, baby. We're gonna see you week 2. Don't even worry about that, bro.
That's a fact. I had a problem the third down pass to Gray. He threw a bullet instead of putting touch on the ball to lead him in the end zone. Now, look, I feel you, Seti, but I looked at that play more than once, and I think that he purposely was trying to throw it behind him because he seen, I think it was like a safety over top. All in all, I agree with you. I do think that it was like one of those spare of the moment things where I feel like, it was just so behind him that it didn't end up translating to what he wanted. So it just wasn't overall. It just wasn't the prettiest thing. But I know exactly what play you're talking about. All facts, talk to the people. Yes, sir. All right, but go ahead. Yeah, TJ says week 2, baby. You see my boy Jaden Daniels looking nice as a bet. But go ahead, man. Talk about it.
He's looking good. He's looking good. I like Daniels. So just we will talk about that another time.
Hey, look, Jorge too, man. Look, we got the NFC East Soldiers thing, man, too. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to hop in.
Whenever you ready, hey, just say the word. I'll send the link.
It's just been scheduled time and lately.
I know how I go. Yep.
I will be getting up on there for the season start. But touching back on that, on the second interception, this is the way I took it. I think we talked about this. I look at that as I'm putting that more on Jones and Rust. That's the way I took it as why he missed that. First of all, on a play like that, and I totally agree with you. Ideally, you want your receiver to be more aggressive, pinpointing the ball, and also when he sees that it's not coming the way he should, play corner and everything. But 2 things on that, this is where I take it. First of all, it's his second year in the league, so he's got to learn some things. We all know coming out of college, the knock on Hyatt was his route running, and there was some skill, some little things here and there that needed fine tuning. despite him being really good on his last year in Tennessee. Now, I look at it like this. Yes, ideally, you want your receiver to pinpoint the ball and get up there and attack it more aggressively. But at this point, Hyatt is not that kind of receiver. Malik Neighbors is. Malik Neighbors did that all the time in college. Hyatt is like more of a speed guy. He wants to run by you. I think he thought the ball was going to get to him because of the half a step that he had on Mr. Stingley.
Yep.
And, you know, a guy with that kind of speed should never be underthrown. So the way I look at it like this, DJ has to put that ball only where his receiver can get it. And I believe the reason why he didn't get a chance to do that is because it's rust. You know, he's working his way. Remember, it's his first game back. He hasn't played in 9 months. I know everybody wants to say he sucks and this and that, and I'm not here to say that people are not entitled to feel the way they feel, whatever, but they need to calm down and just see things for what it is for sometimes.
Wow.
I look at it like it was rust. He has to put that ball back shoulder end of the end zone to where only his receiver can get that or it sails out of bounds. Wow. He threw it. It came up a little short. Stingley made a good play. He was ready for it, and he made the play. Hyatt was expecting the ball to get to him or out of bounds. That's something he's going to have to work on, and that's chemistry stuff. He'll work on that with Jones. They had probably been working on that this whole time, and it just didn't come up like that. So I didn't look at that as, DJ just making a terrible decision. That's not the way I took it. I took it as he let it fly. He underthrew it. Rust, timing issue. And I take it like that. And a good play by the corner. That's it. You know, I just looked at it like that. But Hyatt can get better at being more aggressive to the catch. He has to. Especially if he wants to take another step as a player and as a receiver. He has to, you know. And it's his second year. But, you know, some guys are just built with that in them. And then there's some guys that have to learn how to get that in them. He's on that learning part, I believe. Yeah. Neighbor has that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the thing is, though, with Jalen Hyatt, I've seen him make those type of catches. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen him make those type of acrobatic or aggressive.
We even saw it during the game, you know. We saw it, you know.
That's it. Exactly.
And that goes back, not to cut you off, but that goes back to my point about DJ's ball placement with Rust. It seemed like during the second quarter when they were playing against the Tools, he started throwing more back shoulders. That's when Neighbors made that spectacular catch when he was twisting, fading, caught that ball going out of bounds. And then there was another one to Hyatt that I thought Hyatt made a great play, but his toe unfortunately touched the line, but he one-handed it on a back shoulder. So it looked like kind of DJ kind of got maybe the coaching came to him. They told him, hey, man, you got to put it a certain way, you know, sometimes put it like this, back shoulder it. And it looked like they actually started going to that in the second quarter.
And let me say this too, man, because for all of the people who are not aware, who don't know, when the season gets here, you're not gonna see too much of that. Mm-mm. I'm telling y'all that right now. When we have those opportunities and it's those 50-50 balls and it's us versus y'all one-on-one, I guarantee that our receivers are making a lot of those plays.
Absolutely.
And it was proven. Because you take away those two awful, unfortunate picks. Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones and the receivers were connected, and I'm telling y'all, I've seen it from them. When game time comes, and there's actually a scheme to things, because understand this was a preseason game, and our only thing was working on taking shots down the field. That was the main objective. Coach Dable even mentioned that. And which was what I was telling TJ, who was a Commander fan, yeah, Jaden Daniels looked good, but y'all weren't working on anything special. I didn't see no shots down the field. There was nothing spectacular. At least with Caleb Williams, I seen that from him. So you can pat yourself on the back about Jaden Daniels, which we'll talk about when NFC Soldiers is there. You can pat your back. But all in all, y'all didn't get 6 from playing check down games and 5-yard curls and
Who did
slants
they
and
play?
all of that.
Who
The
were they playing?
Dolphins. The
The
Dolphins.
Dolphins
So-
not even playing nobody. Huh?
So I personally wanted to see that. Let's take shots down the field. I even tweeted, I need at least one. Like, let's open this thing up. Let's see what we got.
Right.
So when we hooked up with Darius Slayton, and I comment under your video because you did your recap, and I told you I watched the whole thing.
Right.
And I purposely said, look, I agree with 95% of what you said. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I missed it. Maybe it's just me. But did you mention the Darius Slayton thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually put that under the things that I did like about what happened yesterday. Oh, reliable. He still has that chemistry. It was good to see that, his chemistry with DJ still there. Something that Daniel Jones is working to build with Neighbors and Hyatt. So I love the 44-yard play. It was against the tools or whatever, but at this point, we all knew that the offense, they said before the game they were going to play a whole half. So it is what it is. That was a positive, I thought. And it was the best drive that Daniel Jones had in that first half. So, yes, I did pinpoint that as a positive. I loved what I saw there, because Darius Slayton, he's reliable and he has that chemistry. I think he had like 3 catches, 59 yards. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and it was a good throw. And I know there's some people trying to say, "Oh, that's a touchdown or whatever. He didn't throw it good enough." I'm just like, man, come on, guys.
Yo, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by yo.
Let's give the guy credit when he does something.
Come on,
listen,
yo.
Y'all know I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones believer right now. I'm on the fence, but I'm a fair dude. I'm not going to just act like everything's bad. Come on. That was a good throw and a good play by Slayton, and at least there's chemistry is still there despite the rust. That was good to see.
That's a fact, man. And see, and I was a messed up on my part. Okay, you mentioned it, so okay.
All
but
good.
My thing is, I can't stand the fact that people try to downplay the Darius Slayton thing, but then overreact when it comes to some bonehead shit that he would do. Now, granted, I just want y'all to paint this picture. If this was a game scenario, a lot of nuances, a lot of things would change, right? But you put some points on the board and you make a shot like that to Darius Slayton. We've seen this happen plenty of times before where that's all we need to get the momentum back.
Right.
That's a big time play. That's a big shot.
It's a 4-quarter game. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 4-quarter game.
We're in preseason right now, but it's a 4-quarter game. They're going into the half. What was the score at halftime? I forget it off the top of the head, but it was like what 14-10 going into the half, I believe, or with us. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm a little off on the score.
Yeah.
So
second, it was tied up.
Yeah,
going into the half. Yeah.
Now I know there'll be people out there that are gonna say, "Hey, man, they did that when all the starters were out." But at the end of the day, we knew that these guys were gonna play a half. So you gotta use the context for what it is. It was the best drive, and it looked like DJ started, getting some rhythm going, and that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see.
That's the type of play though that, for one, we see Darius Slayton do versus starters, so y'all can deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For two, that's working on it. That's working on anybody.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, y'all say this not starters. Like, there's not a chance that these are not people that won't be in the games. That was second string. So y'all, I mean, come on, yo. I know y'all love to take away from, but it is what it is, yo.
Another thing I want to mention too about Daniel Jones, okay? I'm gonna say, what I did like about what Brian Dable and Daniel Jones was doing as far as the game plan goes. They were taking shots. And I believe that is something that needs to happen this year. We're going to find out this year if DJ can do it. Because like we talked about this many times, the strength of this team is the receiver core, talent in the room, and they're going to be a pass-first offense. Yes, we have running backs by committee, and I like our guys, but this is going to go as DJ goes with these receivers, man.
That's a fact.
Okay? And
That's a fact.
taking shots is who we have to become because there's just too much talent to just keep checking the 5 yard, checking them. Those plays are good during the games at times. You got to have those. You got to move the chains.
Yeah.
But this is a passing league. This is a receiver core that has talent and explosiveness. That's what you want. You want to see Jones take those shots to take this offense up a level. So that was a plus that they would even work. And that's what preseason's for, baby. Work on it,
man.
Work on it. That's what you want to see. I would be more annoyed if we were just dumping it down and he was making mistakes. Yeah. That would bother me more. This is something he has to adjust. And he has to adjust his, his thinking, his mentality of always checking down and all of that. But that's a story for another day. But this receiver core is the strength. And I like the fact that Brian Dable recognizes that and said, hey, I got to take shots this year. These guys can't be wasted. I wanted a receiver at 6 when we didn't get the quarterback or whatever. This is our guy I wanted. We got him. We got to feature him. Hyatt, second year, we got to feature him. Wandell in the slot, we got to feature him. That's what you want to see. So this is something that we have to see get better as the season goes along.
Yeah, man. And that's just my main thing, man. The overreacting is like, y'all cut it out, man. So a lot of y'all are too old for that, man. All this overreacting and all of this crying and shit that y'all got going on, cut it out. Cut it out. I would even understand if this was like week 1, right? Yeah. We took a loss.
When the games count, I get it, but not now. Come on,
man. Come on, man.
The guy just came back being off 9 months, man. Did y'all really expect him to be like, come on, guys?
I want to be clear. If this was week 1, if this was where it counted, this would be a different conversation.
No question.
This will be a different conversation. So I want y'all to understand that. But I know what's what. It's preseason, man. There's no way that y'all could get me to like lose my head over a preseason game. Nah, man.
I get that there's concerns that we have. I get that. It's okay to have concerns. But the overreaction is just over the top. We just gotta relax and let's see what happens, guys.
Exactly. I was talking to them on Twitter. I'm like, yo, I understand that, the analyzing. I understand it. I'm with it. I welcome it.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is like the bandness, all right? The bandness. And when I say band, if y'all know that abbreviation, y'all know. but
I know the abbreviation.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, yo, all the people that is just like, oh, man, we're not going to be able to win. Yo, it's done. Oh, man, throw in the towel. Oh, we just are horrible. We suck. Like all of that crying and overreacting crap, I just can't get with. I can't get with it. Analyzing and saying, yo, this concerns me. This didn't look good. No, we can't have like that's the type of football talk that I can be involved with, man. But the overanalyzing and all that other stuff, nah. Is DJ a rookie or not? Because the expectations and mediocrity y'all speaking on sounds like what you expect from a rookie, not a 5-year starter.
Let me take this one. TJ, my guy, I'm not expecting no mediocrity. If you listen to this channel and this show, I have said plenty of times, I expect 25 touchdowns, 4,000 yards this year. And if I don't get it, I'm going to be on him. Everyone know that. So I don't know what he's trying to do here.
Yo, man. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, yo, we need to go up.
And I feel those are fair expectations, not for nothing.
That's a fact. No, he needs to go out there and ball. So if I didn't make that clear, I'm going to make it clear now. He needs to go out there and ball. So, nah. My expectations is that we honestly, we either fight for in the playoffs or we're in the playoffs.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying.
Like I've said plenty of times, I expect DJ to lead this team. That I want him to be the reason we win, not be just in the car on the back seat, You know what I mean? Like more times than not. Hey, there's gonna be games the defense is gonna lead wins. That's okay. That's Giants football, baby. That's okay. But offensively, I want him to be the driver. You know what I mean? Because and that's what Joe Shane wants, not for nothing.
Yeah.
That's why he built the team the way he did. He let Saquon go because he wanted this to become DJ's team, pass first offense, so we could score more points. That's the whole point of this. So no, TJ, we not expecting mediocre expectations, baby. We expecting a change in what we've been watching.
He says, "Don't pat him on the back for playing okay, then downplay it when he stink it up." See, this is my thing, though.
I don't know.
If you remove those interceptions, right? If you just look outside of those interceptions, because right now that's what's going on. People can't look outside of those interceptions. They harping on those, which I get it if you're concerned about that. Like if you think that would translate to the regular season, I get that. For one, I just don't think it's going to. That's just my belief. That's for one. For two, I think it was more than okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, those hookups with Malik Neighbors during this short span of time that they played,
that was a positive.
Those are positives.
That's a positive.
The hookup with Jalen Hyatt, the hookup with Darius Slayton, that bomb.
Yeah.
He laughed at me because when we was chopping it up, I mentioned that 12-yard run. But no, that 12-yard run that he had to set up that first down, that's positives. Like, that is a part of his game. That's what I wanted to see.
That's a good point by you about the 12-yard run too, TP, because that showed me that the knee is not an issue.
Exactly.
It's not an issue. He actually took that. He ran. He looked like himself running. And I like the fact that happened. So we can't use the injury as a problem excuse no more. And that's a positive going forward for the team that their quarterback is healthy as he can be at this point of training camp.
Hey, look, and I'll take it a step further. Excuse me. I never was going to use that injury thing as an excuse.
Yeah, me neither.
Because if you say you're back, you step into that role, it's game time.
Yep.
It's game time now.
Yep.
So
I had concerns earlier when we were talking before training camp started. I had said, how do we know he's healthy? When we see his participation in training camp is going to tell us what we need to know. Well, he's taking basically every snap in training camp that he was supposed to. So that right there got out to me.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel like, they waited on you for you to say when you good. So, hey. Right. So, yeah, man, I just think that I'm expecting big things, man. I'm expecting big things. And I put it on Twitter, and that's what I'm kind of they still hitting me up. I'm going back and forth with dudes up there. But I made it clear. I want everybody to remember this point in time. Don't forget it. Please don't forget it. I'm screenshotting Twitter names. I'm screenshotting tweets. I'm remembering statements. All of that. Because when week 1 come and we play the Vikings, I need for y'all to keep the same energy. Because I know I will. If Daniel Jones goes out there and stink it up, I know I'm going to be right here and I'm going to be like, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah, we accountable on this show.
You know what I mean?
We definitely accountable here, bro.
I'm going to have full accountability.
And I've said already many times, if he plays better than what I expect and he gives me the 25 touchdown, 4,000-yard expectation I has, I'm willing to come on my channel in here and eat crow about the guy.
Exactly.
So, it's accountability on this show, baby.
Exactly. And look, all of the the people that I label haters and all of that, I welcome it all. Feel free to say it all. Because when you take the stance that I take, you got to, just like you could dish, you got to be able to take.
Stand on business.
Telling you right now, when it's my turn, and when things happen that when I believe that is going to happen week 1, please remember this time. Please remember it. Because best believe, I'm taking names. and I'm not allowing y'all to forget. So hey, that's just what it comes to.
And by the way, haters and all of that, listen to what this man is saying. Okay, he's welcoming both sides of it. Okay. Also, remember, if this man is right and we all are right as far as what we expect from DJ, we're a good team. That means we're winning. That's what you want. You want to win. Does everybody really want to go through another dismal 5-6 win all that season? No, we don't want that. So, as Giant fans, that should be what you want, no matter what you believe will happen.
The truth of the matter is, you know what's crazy about this whole thing? What's crazy is, let's say week 1, we go out there, we win the game, Daniel Jones looks good. There are going to be people who are not going to be happy. There are going to be people who are still going to have something negative to say. And they're going to pinpoint every little thing, every mistake he's had, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of celebrating a week 1 victory, there are going to be people who are not going to be satisfied. And I'm just telling you right now, that is when, as Giant fans, I'm doing my part, but that's when you got to call them out on that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If we win the first game, I don't care how we win it. And I'm telling you right now, I expect for Daniel Jones to look good. If we win that first game, I need everybody to be celebrating. I need everybody to be happy about it.
That's a fact.
So I'm not accepting anything less than that.
Yes.
So
let's win.
Last man standing says got a question. No excuses. But what do the Giants play on grass or turf? Because everyone was sliding around like they was on ice. Just wanted to know.
Well, that they played in Houston yesterday. So yeah, that was in Houston. So but listen, at the end of the day, as far as the question about the grass and everything and the turf, you know, me as a season ticket holder, I want grass. I mean, I want grass in the MetLife. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the players, the injuries, you know, there was talk about the turf a couple years back, how bad it was around from players around the league. They were saying, you know, I can't ignore that. You know, at first I thought it was just a couple of players, but it was universal around the league. Everybody was complaining about the turf. So what they did was they changed the turf to a different texture and a different brand of it. They thought they had it fixed, but I still prefer grass. I think that's just better for the players' health, you know, and especially if they're going to go into a 18-game season, which it sounds like they're going to be doing soon based on everything that I've been reading. Sooner or later with the new CBA, they're going to go to an 18-week season, an 18-game season. So I think it's just beneficial for the players to get that grass on every stadium, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You
I
know?
mean, the players are spoken on as well.
Yeah. You know, they're the ones that are really reasons why we tune in. And if they prefer it, I'm all for it. Do it.
Yes, sir. But yeah, let's push that Daniel Jones thing to the side.
Let's talk some positive, man. Let's talk some positive.
Yeah, I look.
You know where I'm going with the positive.
Offensive line.
Point of attack, bravo! I loved it, bro.
Yo, and that's why I couldn't come out of this preseason game with my head down.
No,
I'm like, yo, if the offensive line looks like that, oh my god,
yeah.
Oh man,
if they're gonna look like that, I mean, first of all, if that's gonna happen, there's gonna be that's gonna be a one less excuse to use of why we can't score points. Because
I can't.
Offensive line is argued to have been the biggest problem with this team the last 6-7 years. And if we finally have it addressed, and we can talk about quarterback play, we can talk about defenses in the past. The biggest bugaboo and problem with this franchise has been the offensive line.
And it's not even close.
Problem. Not even close. And based on what I'm seeing, and we've talked about this, our expectations was it has to be better, and it should be better. They signed Runyon, who, by the way, didn't even play yesterday. Okay.
Yep.
We signed Illuminor. We just got Van Roten a couple weeks back to solidify the right side. You know, Brasillo, he knows these guys. I think we even signed the fullback the other day with the Raiders.
Oh,
So that's
yeah,
another
yeah.
that's another layer to the offensive line that's going to be a positive. JMS came back yesterday. I thought he
Yeah.
looked good. You know, they
did.
limited his snap count.
He
I think he
did.
maybe got like 15 plays, but he looked good with the first team. I'm very encouraged with what I saw with this offensive
I'm
line
telling
yesterday.
you, man.
Point of
I'm telling
attack
you.
was on point.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And TP, you know me. I'm a little old school, I guess, but I'm all about point of attack, man. And
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I was so thrilled. I thought that was the biggest positive and take that I took from this game yesterday, that the offensive line looks like it is finally fixed. It's finally fixed. We're not going to have to worry about that as long as we keep those guys healthy. Dable, Shane, and Brasillo, they have now said, let's stop moving guys around. Let's not mess around. Put them in the spots where they're comfortable. This Van Roten playing center or running the right side. No, they said, okay, Van Roten's here. You're a right guard. Illumino, you're right tackle. JMS comes back. That's what we're doing. Andrew Thomas is where he's going to, he's going to do what he do. One of the best OTs in football.
Looking monstrous out there.
Yep, he was looking great. No one, Runyon didn't even play yesterday. Stinney played pretty good too, as the backup. They didn't even sniff Daniel Jones yesterday.
Man.
They didn't even sniff Daniel Jones yesterday.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't even remember him getting even hit once. Maybe I think the only hit was when he rolled out in the end zone before the pick six. But other than that, I didn't see anyone getting near him,
Man.
And the run blocking at point of attack, they were moving guys off the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, and I get it. Hunter didn't play and Anderson didn't play, but that's still a solid, good defense out there. Okay,
hey, I can only go by what's in front of them, man. Because I feel you, because I know that people try to use that. People try to take away from what the offensive line did by saying who didn't play.
Right.
Man, look, I'm only can judge you by what was out there. They looked good, like you said.
They looked good.
Run and pass.
Yep.
They looked good. I can't believe that there were actually like holes.
Yeah.
Holes. Yep.
Did you see the little run Singletary had?
What?
Not dancing.
What?
Saquon, no dancing. Hole.
Yeah.
Hit it. One cut.
Yeah.
Go forward. That's what I want to see. The offensive line was pushing dudes back, making the holes, and Singletary was getting in there.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what you want to see, man.
Yes, sir. I mean, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. And like you said, that pass protection. Look, I'm with y'all. As of right now, Daniel has no excuse when it comes to that. Because he was back there. Hey, and this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This was an example of him having more than that 3 Mississippi crap that we was talking about. He was out there at some points. Hold on, real quick. Let me get my lunch break. All right, and I'm like, yo, who is this?
Yeah.
I'm not even used to seeing this.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen that from a giant offensive line.
I can't come out. I can't have my head down after seeing that.
And they ran some stunts too. They ran some
stunts.
And they picked them up well, I saw there was two plays they ran a little stunt action there, and they picked it up. Van Roten and Illumino did well with that.
So what happens if y'all come out and lose week 1? Well, like I said, for one, if we lose week 1, I'm going to feel some type of way for a couple of reasons.
Context.
Which we'll talk about.
It's got to be context of how we lose week. First of all, I don't want to lose week 1, and I expect the Giants to go 2-0 these first 2 games, and they better go 2-0 these first 2 games, because these are the two most winnable game stretch they're going to have, because the schedule gets tougher going forward. And yes, one of those 2 games is against Washington. I expect that win. Okay,
look,
so
that live is going to be real.
Real talk.
That
real
live
talk.
is going to be real.
So I think if we lose, first of all, it will be very disappointing if we lost week 1, no matter what reason it is. But I think judging Daniel Jones' performance, it's got to be context. If he goes out there, he plays well, he gives you a good game, leads the offense, they score points, and I don't know, the defense just doesn't have a good day or whatever, or maybe a special team blunder costs the game, then I can't complain about Daniel Jones. And I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But if he has a bad day and they don't win and the defense does their job, then yes, that's a story for another day. But that's different, TJ. Let's let's see what happens first. And I don't think we're losing week 1, baby. We going in there and we gonna get that done.
Let me make this clear. Because I don't want to make it seem like it's a Daniel Jones versus everybody type thing.
No.
My number one priority is getting a win. That's my number one priority.
Front of the jersey first.
I'm telling you. So if Daniel Jones goes out there and looks great and we lose, I'm not coming out here cocky.
No.
I'm just telling y'all that right now.
No.
I'm not coming out here cocky.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy being right. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Who doesn't?
I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I would rather see the New York Giants 1-0, like we're supposed to be, than see Daniel Jones go off and rack up on stats and quiet the haters for him. I'd rather have the win.
There you go. No doubt.
With that being said, we're not losing to no Sam Darnold, man. That can't happen.
It can't.
That's my big thing, man.
It can't.
That's
and
my
I
big
saw
thing.
they signed Gilmore today officially too. They did officially sign him today.
I heard that this morning.
Now I ain't gonna lie, I would like to have Gilmore because he's better than what we have in the cornerback room behind Banks, but that's a story for another day. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to say Gilmore is the Gilmore we saw 6-7 years ago. I think Malik Neighbors gonna have his food.
That's a fact. And that's my thing, man. I just don't see a world where week 1.
I agree, last man standing. I
don't see a world in week 1 where it is the defense's fault, per se.
Nope.
So let's just say, again, we go out there week 1, Daniel Jones, it doesn't contribute to the win. He doesn't get the job done. I am going to hold him accountable, and I'm going to stand 10 toes down, and I'm going to receive whatever it is that people have to say. I'm going to take it. I understand it.
And we shouldn't have to apologize for a win at the end of the day. The win is what we want, and the other stuff we get into of what could have been better and what was good. That's every game has its story. Every game has its story, an individual story. That's why we love this. That's why we talk this. This is why we are fans of the sport and our team. At the end of the day, you give me a win, I'll sleep better at night no matter what Jones did.
And there's a such thing as week 1 rust. Now, granted, let me make it clear. Week 1 rust to me doesn't mean that there's an excuse that we don't get the job done. No, I'm not saying that.
No, this is
I'm not saying that.
Game. You gotta win.
We better go out there and win, especially that week 1 versus Sam Darnold. We got to go out there and handle business.
Yeah.
But if things are not looking as crisp as I want them to look, or if Daniel Jones isn't just prime time play, isn't playing super great, I'm not crying over that.
No,
I'm not crying over that.
Not at all.
Now, let me just make it clear so there's no misunderstandings. 1, I expect him to play good. That's 1. I don't care. Week 1, 18, whatever it is. I expect him to play good. 2, I expect us to win. So I think we should resign Slayton. I'm not convinced on Hyatt, to be honest. That's actually a good thing, a good subject right there, because I think there's been a lot, especially after this preseason game, there's just been a lot of Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt wide receiver 2 talks. I didn't even know this was a thing. I thought it was obvious that Darius Slayton should have been wide receiver 2. Darius Slayton is wide receiver 2 because you don't go from, this is not rocket science. You don't go from Darius Slayton being wide receiver 1. We gain a wide receiver 1, and then he skips wide receiver 2, goes down to wide receiver 3. That just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
So the
And
way
the only way he isn't wide receiver 2 is if you traded him because of his contract that he wants, but they're not going to do that. He
that's a
should
fact.
be. He has chemistry with Daniel Jones, man. You gotta keep that in there. You can't just put him to the bench. And I love Jalen Hurts' highest talent. I think his ceiling might be better than Slayton. Who knows? We'll see. But I think Darius Slayton is a guy who's been very much underrated by this fan base.
Yeah.
Of the last couple of years. My whole thing with Darius Slayton was he had a problem with drops. That was the knock of him coming out of college, but it's gotten better year to year, and you can't deny the chemistry he has with Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a fact.
And he's a threat out there, man. He's a threat to get behind the defense, and that's what you want.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And look, honestly, first of all, Mosley, what's up, man? Giant salute to you.
Lou.
Slayton has been our best and most consistent wide receiver. Hodgins is underrated too. 100% agree. 100% agree, man. I think Slayton, it is so easy for people to discount him and not give him the credit that he deserves. But I think the real Giant fans, man, that know and understand and take their emotions out of it, understand what Darius Slayton means to this team, and understand who he has been. Don't get me wrong, I like Hyatt and I like his game. I think he could be that over-the-top threat. But that every down receiver that complements Malik Neighbors, I think he's going to be a great wide receiver too compliment. And I haven't given up on Hyatt at all. I haven't given up on Hyatt at all. I still think he's going to have a big year. I think our whole receiver core is going to have a big year. But Mosley,
best since 2011. I'm telling you, I really do.
But Mosley also, as far as Hodges is concerned, man, damn, can we please kill the releasing Hodges thing, man? That shit is kind of scaring me, man, because I'm not with that.
No,
I'm not with that, man. I like Hodges, man.
He knows Dable's offense.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2022, the Giants' offense did not get better until he became a fixture in that offense late in the year when he came off the street and came and helped his team. I mean, he stepped up big time. Okay, we gotta just like relax with that. I don't understand. Now, do we have to have Hodgins be a starter? No, he shouldn't be a starter. We have talent that's better in those spots, but you need depth, and he's a perfect depth receiver that you need for this team. And I don't understand. Listen, Wandell 2 years ago hurt an ACL. Okay, he hurt his ACL. Injuries can happen. You got to have depth. It shouldn't be to where one guy gets hurt and then all of a sudden the entire core is torpedo. You need guys. And he has to make this team. And I think he will make this team. Gunner, I heard, is hurt, and he's going to be out a while. So it looks like I don't think he's going to make the team now. Unfortunately, Mr. McKenzie looks like he's probably going to. And that's, that's a story for another day.
As far as McKenzie
Hodges is locked. Hodges is locked.
McKenzie as a receiver is one thing, but I'll be honest, I think I like seeing him back there returning the kicks. So I mean, we'll see with that. Actually, I can't really stamp it. I'm just going by the players too that I see.
TP, he scares me with that balls in the air, though, man.
Dude, okay.
He be kind of like the secure of the catch. I'm like, who? He kind of reminds me of old boy with that we had in 2022. Was doing the returners. Oh man, why I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank here.
Who was returning? Was Adoree returning it that year?
Nah, it was, and he cost us the Seattle game. I'm drawing a blank for some reason right now. He cost us that Seattle game where he fumbled a couple of times on those punt returns.
That wasn't Eric Gray, was it?
No, 2022 when we
22
playoffs. Oh boy, he had a decent year as a receiver, but just the punt returns.
Oh,
what just
you talking about Yeah, I know you. Richie James. Yeah, Ghost
James.
Dog Blue got it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Richie
yeah,
James.
yeah,
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out
yup.
Ghost Dog. Shout out.
Ghost-
Yes,
Peace, man, peace.
that's what he like. That ball's in the air. I'm getting nervous when he up there, like, whoo, just secure it,
Yeah,
baby. Secure it.
Yup. That's a
Especially
fact.
especially
Yup.
with the new kickoff, what's it called, dynamic kickoff play now, where they're going to be kicking in, and now the returns are going to be a factor this year. You got to have good special team players, and you got to have guys that are going to secure that ball, because with the new rules of that, you know, the defense, once the kickoff team cannot start running until the ball is received.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a whole nother game with that. So let's just hope, and punt return. So please, you know, I hope
Hey, look,
McKenzie can do the job.
you know,
Okay,
funny,
I'm just
I thought I wouldn't like that new setup, man, but it's growing on me, man.
It is.
It's growing on me. I like it, man.
It's
I
a
like
new dynamic to the game, man. It makes every play now count, man. You know, so why not? But of course, if you kick it out of bounds, it's irrelevant. But,
yeah, that's a fact. Yep.
Yeah.
Last Man Standing says, "Is that a Tiki Barber 21 jersey, my brother?" ATP, I seen that classic 97 jersey. Sheesh. You rocked it well. I didn't think it looked all that great when it came out, but you might have changed that. Salute, man.
Salute.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
This is not a Tiki jersey. This is actually a Landon Collins jersey. Landon Collins. Yes, Landon Collins is one of my favorite safeties to ever play for the Giants. I love him. And, you know, I didn't like when he left for Washington, but I understood it was more Gettleman letting him go than anything.
Yeah.
But I will always have that moment. First of all, I love Landon as a player when he was with the Giants. That 2016 season that he had with us, to me, was one of the most underrated defensive performances from a player in the history of the Giants franchise, which we all know has a history of great defensive players. But I will always remember me being in the stands, watching at MetLife in 2022. I even have a video of it on my channel if y'all want to go check it out. Landon Collins pick six of Nick Foles, taking it to the house, basically putting that game out of reach and us making the playoffs. MetLife was rocking. It was great. And it was great because he just got back. He helped us out with our injury situation, and he just got back. And for him to be a part of the reason why we got in that day was a good moment. Section 330 crew was buzzing that day. We were all hyped up. And, Landon's one of my guys, man. I still have his jersey, man.
That was a magical way to just end the regular season right there, for sure.
That was one of the most loudest I heard.
I love that video right there. I love that video because it really did capture the essence, man, of what that time was, man.
And what you saw in that video was all genuine. We were really that excited.
Man, everybody was, man. That was just the perfect way right there. That was the icing on the cake right there, especially to have Landon Collins do that.
Yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah.
Janky Boy says, "Where's y'all confidence level at with this secondary?"
Ooh.
Hey, man, look, I will tell you this, man.
Yeah, you started off. I'll let y'all know what I feel.
I'll keep it short and sweet. CB1, confident. Safety, confident. Free safety, confident. Nickel, confident. Other nickel, yeah. CB2, yeah. That's just where I'm at with it.
I feel you.
That's just where
I totally
I'm at
agree with you, man. I would say I am. First of all, let me just say I do think there is talent in the secondary. It's just very young. That's the problem.
Man. Yeah, you're right.
You're right. Very young. I think Deonte Banks is going to be a very good corner in this league, but he's young and he still has to go out there and prove that he can take that next step as a player. We have to see it. And it's his second year. He's young. We got to see it. Safeties, Pinnock. I like Pinnock. I think he's a very good player. And I want to see him continue to grow as a player. And I think he's going to be good for us. So I'm confident in him. He makes plays. He's a ball hawk. He understands his assignments. Doesn't really have problems there. I think you know how I feel about Tyler Nubin, second round.
Yeah.
I love that kid. I love his talent. I loved him in Minnesota. I thought he was a very good pick in the second round. That man is a dog, okay?
Yep.
And he's going to be a fan favorite, I think, at MetLife this year, sooner or later. Did you catch how Bowen had said just a couple of weeks ago, how Belton was clearly in the lead and it's his job to lose when Newman was hurt. And all it took was 1 week.
Yeah.
For them to get that kid on the field. And they said, yeah, I think he's going to be, I think we need to see him with the ones before we even do that. So, yes, I like him. Belton, no shade for him. I like him. He's a solid player. His tackling has always been an issue with him. I think that's kind of why the Giants are kind of like, with him sometimes. But he's a ball hawk. He doesn't get beat deep a lot, and he's a ball hawk, and you need that in your secondary. Okay, you need that. Corner though, CB2 and depth is a problem. That is my issue with them, and I'm on nervous mode about that now. I have said I like Cordell Flott. I thought it was good that we can see if he can grow into that, but it shouldn't be given to him. And based on reports that I have seen and we have all read, he hasn't looked great. He has not distinguished himself, and now he's hurt. He's hurt on top of that. So what do you have after that? We heard about McLeod this week. Oh, he's been playing pretty good in camp. Let's give him a chance. I didn't see much from him yesterday. I didn't listen. They were moving the ball on us quite a bit. Now, some of it, I don't know, was by design or the coverage you were playing. I'm not sure about that. A lot of times coordinators don't want to reveal too much. But however, this was basically the dress rehearsal game, it looks like. So I didn't think McLeod really established himself. The veteran players that we had behind him, Herndon, Holmes, I forgot the other guy's name. They can't bodies.
Isaiah Simmons. I mean, not camp bodies, but
not Isaiah Simmons. I think Isaiah Simmons will be a contributor. I don't like him in the guarding slot receivers, though. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think his skill set should be guarding those quick slot receivers.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think play him in that money backer role, a little safety, a little linebacker, a little pass rush. That's his role. I think that's best suited for him. Guarding slots, I don't like that. I just think you're putting his skill set at a disadvantage. But I was more focused talking about Herndon, those veteran players that were playing. If we got to go with those guys, we in trouble.
That's a fact.
That's not what you want at CB2.
That's a fact.
I feel like we need to address it, and I'm sure Shane is looking. I'm sure he didn't go out there. He didn't give the money to an old boy that went to Minnesota. I get that, the cap and all of that. So if you're not going to go there, you're going to have to pick somebody else. I think once teams get down to their 53, they're going to go out there and see what's out there. But, yeah, it is a concern. It is a concern. Teams are going to target. They're going to target that CB2 spot, and I have concerns about that, man. I do.
For sure. Real quick, man, look, if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like as well. We need that engagement, man. We want to keep rocking this thing out. We want to keep going hard. We definitely need your engagement. Look, I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm telling y'all already, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, it's a party. All right? It's a party. You all are invited. And it's going to be a special moment in time, man, because I know how much work I've been putting in. Even now, I got to work in a couple of hours, but I made sure that I wanted to get up and make sure I deliver this content to you all. I want to make sure I'm consistent. And even with talking, excuse me, even with talking with Jorge and Born for Sports over there, he's also someone who in between work, with fathers, with husbands, we balance this thing out, and it's because we want to make sure that we're delivering some good product out there.
For sure.
So, look,
for sure.
It won't kill you if you tuned in, if you love what you see. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please Please don't forget to go over there to Born for Sports where you can catch Jorge. Look, very informative, man. Very informative. And he's going to break it down to you like no one possibly can, man. So do
Sure.
your due diligence, like, comment, and subscribe.
Sure.
Yeah, so hey Mosley, what was I bugging about, man? What was I bugging about? Talk to me. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Yeah, we'll hit on that real quick before we go. But I agree with you. I think that it's no secret that we gotta address that CB2 role for sure.
For sure.
Because I just don't see how we could even get it going to the season with what we had. I don't feel confident about it. I definitely think teams see that, and if we don't handle that, man, it's just gonna break the puzzle to all of the pieces that is connecting outside of that. So
we need somebody to go out there and grab the job, and none of these guys have actually grabbed it.
Man.
That's the problem. It's kind of like we like what he does, but we're not loving what he does. But this guy can do the stuff that we don't love. He doesn't do, but he doesn't. It's one of those.
Yeah, man.
We got to get an answer.
I put it on record, man. I'm not a big McLeod fan. McLeod, I'm not, man. I know there's some people out there who like him, who thinks, there's more to his game than what meets the eye and all of that.
He used to drive me crazy in 2022.
Oh my God, man! Oh my
God. You should have heard me at MetLife a couple of times, man. He was used to drive me crazy, man. I mean, he's got
this old,
but
I got this old reel. I think it's still up on my page of me just going off, me just tired of Nick McLeod, man. It drops an interception. It's right there. It's just like, yeah, man. But
because we're good. I really love the talent and the young players that we have. They're just young. That's the only issue.
Man, that's
it. They're gonna become a force. Like Phillips at the slot, I think he's gonna be a force once.
Oh yeah,
I love that kid's game.
Oh yeah,
he's a dog. He's a dog. Sure. He's gonna be a player too. So I'm not really worried about the slot. I'm not worried too much about Banks, even though I want to see him make a jump as the season goes on. It's that CB2, man. It's that CB2.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm. How bad is that McFadden injury? Man, Ghost Dog Blue. That's a great question. Listen, I put a video out just kind of explaining how I feel about McFadden. He's somebody who I was super duper excited to see. Super duper excited. I think he plays extremely well next to Bobby Okereke. And so to see him go down again, leave on a cart. I did hear, now granted, this was through Twitter rumors, so take that with a grain of salt. But I did hear it wasn't as bad as it seemed to be. But I'm gonna do my research, man. Hopefully we'll hear some more about it.
I'm currently looking right now to see if there's any news on that.
Okay.
But I don't really see anything yet.
Okay. Yeah, man. So hopefully, man, he could stay healthy for us or get healthy.
I hope what you're saying is right though, because honestly, first they said it was a hit. Then they showed him on the telecast. They showed him grabbing the groin area, and usually if it's a groin, the way he was holding it, they usually can walk off on their own part. The fact they had to cart him, I'm concerned that something might have popped. That's why I'm like, I'm just gonna wait on that because the Giants are funny with their injury. With their injury news, they don't like to reveal too much right away.
Did they cart off Tyrone Tracy or did he?
They my boy gave me a heart attack.
I'm telling you, man.
And then all of a sudden, he back in practice. I'm
telling you.
Well, look, they said the same day he came for the meetings. He was in the meetings the same day after he went to the hospital with an air cast and he came back and he's good. I'm like, oh man. So the Giants be kind of, I don't know, they be kind of like, manipulating that injury report a little bit when they get those on spot diagnoses and stuff. So let's wait and see on that.
But look, I know we leaving a lot out there, man. I do apologize about that, but like I said, I got to get ready for work on this really rainy and wacky Sunday. But I did want to just get your thoughts, man. We got the Jets coming up, man. How do you feel that preseason situation should go? Do you want starters to play? If so, how long? What are you looking forward to when that comes?
You know something, TP. This is an interesting question, and I kind of decided this answer this morning when I thought about it because I actually was going to do a video on it soon. But I think we need to play our starters on the offense. I think defense. I'm good with the defense. I'm good with that. I think you give them time. Those guys they beat each other and other players up for a living. I think we know what we got. Keep our D line, which is the strength of that on that side of the ball. Keep them fresh. Keep Dex fresh. Have them all ready to go and ready to hunt on week one. So I'm good with that. Let them sit. Offensively, I think we need to play our guys. Daniel Jones needs the reps. I don't want him to have that. First of all, it's going to be talked about all week about the interceptions and the way he looked and blah, blah, blah. That's going to be out all week. I don't want him to have that festering for a couple of weeks before he gets back out there. I think we need to play him at least a first half. He's missed a lot of time. I believe the starters should play in this game. And I know it's most likely going to be against the Jets 2s and 3s or whatever. But I think confidence-wise, I think this is something. Hey, if you want to give Daniel Jones one quarter, I'm good with that too. But I just think you got to get that taste. You got to get that taste out of the mouth of the offense, the way they looked against the Texans in the first quarter, even though they finished better. I just think it will be more beneficial to have the offense play at least a quarter in the game. Go into that 2-week stretch before week one with some confidence.
Yeah, man. Look, I can't disagree with you, man. I can't disagree with you. I'm very nervous when it comes to playing them that long in preseason only because of injury. You know, we haven't had the best of luck when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But if you put that to the side, I agree with you. I definitely want us to get as much reps as we possibly can.
I think DJ needs it, TP. I really do.
Man. Yeah.
He's been out a long time. You know, he's been out a long time. I just don't want I don't want him to have that in his mind. We all know with him in here, it's, certain bad things can linger and mess him up. So I just think, hey, even if it's one series, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, even if you just want to do one series, hey, and he goes down, I think,
but even in that though, that one series has to be, we got to get some points on the board.
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say that. Okay, I was about to land on that. If they go out first drive, he's cooking, boom, 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 boom. We score a touchdown. That's it. Get them out. Get the starters out, and we'll go off on that going into week one. Because remember, there's a week off in between week one after this game this weekend. So that's a lot of time. Do you really want 3 weeks of him thinking about that? I don't want that. I think at least get him a series. If they score a touchdown, he looks good. Get him out, or at least a quarter. I think it's beneficial that based off the rust that he clearly had yesterday, it will be beneficial for him to get a little bit more reps if it's possible. I think it's a good decision in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
But I also see your point too with injuries too. That is always a concern.
It's just scary, man. It's just scary, especially with our offensive line. You definitely want them going into week one, full fledged, all hands on deck. Yep. But I definitely would want to leave on a better note. That's just like when you leave in the basketball court. Like, who wants to leave on a miss? You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
No, let's at least leave this on a make, and then we could go into week one with what we have there. But I definitely think we could squeeze out some more reps. Again, I don't care who's against, first team, second string, whoever's out there. Reps are reps. They're still bodies.
Just got to get that vibe up. Get the vibe back up. Get the vibes back up. That's all.
As far as defense is concerned, hey, I want to sit the trenches. I've seen enough.
I'm good.
You know what I mean?
I'm good.
Sit down Tibbs, Dex, Burns, Okereke.
Yep.
Sit them down. Secondary, I think we could play them a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, again, they could
Couldn't
use as
hurt.
much reps. I don't think it will hurt. Maybe sit them 2 drives or so. You know, maybe
I
a
think,
quarter.
yeah, I agree. I think the guys on defense, I'm sitting is Dex, Tibbs, Burns, Okereke, absolutely Okereke. McFadden, depending on what we find out with his injury situation, you know, those guys, what do you call it? Pennock, sit him, sit him. As far as the rookies, Nubin and our slot guy Phillips, sit those guys. Everyone else, go out there and go show off and see what Chapman's a guy that I want to see a little more play.
Okay.
I would like to see him play because I want to see him with the one on the first team and see what we got there. So I can see him getting him getting some snaps as well.
Okay.
But the big stars that we know are our rocks. Let them sit, man. Let them sit.
I'm with it. Ghost Dog Blue says if he keeps messing up going into the season, then we got an issue on our hands for real. But until then, we got time to get things smoothed out offensively.
Absolutely.
I can see that. Ghost, Bobby O should sit with Dex. Get DJ in the game for at least 2 series.
Salute my G, AMAC, Blaze, 330 crew, baby. Yes, sir.
DJ Blaze, what's popping?
I agree. I agree with him too.
I will say that that's fair. You definitely don't want to see Daniel Jones with another big interception performance or heavy mistake performance in your second preseason game,
especially against he's going to have to play the backups. You don't want to see him doing that against backups and those guys. So I just think this would be like get him some run. He needs the reps, TP. You know, he's been out. That's just where I'm with it.
Yep. So I think we agree on that, man. But all in all, listen, Giants, Soldiers, I already know, man, we not doing no crying and complaining over here. That's not how we give it up over here, man. So I just want to reassure y'all, man, as we approach and get a step closer into this season, have your chest poked out, your head high, and make sure that we are always bleeding blue and repping heavy. Don't let anybody try to manipulate what we know and how we feel going into the season. The truth of the matter is this: scoreboard is 0-0. Okay,
absolutely.
Scoreboard is 0-0, and we have seen the underdog, be the overdog plenty of times, especially us. So let them hate. What is it? 50 Cent said, well, if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. That's just the mindset we got to have.
From your lips to God's ears, TP.
Come on, man. So, hey, look, Jorge, any closing words?
I just want to say, you know what? We just got to take it for what it is. We wanted DJ to play better, but you know what? It is what it is. This is why preseason is here. We had to expect some kind of rust to be a factor here. Has not played for 9 months. We had to see it. This is what training camp and preseason is for. Okay. Now I know that the interceptions, there's no excuse for that pick 6 or whatever, but let's just keep things in perspective and let's see where we go from there. At the end of the day, we got one preseason game left. Let's see where we're at. And week 1 is fast approaching. Let's see. Let's worry about that later. At the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. We all want to win. We all want the same things. This is what I'm on. Yeah. If you're not about winning, then I can't conversate with you about it. No matter what you feel about DJ. We all want to win. At the end of the day, let's hope he does better. Because if he does, it means we win. Is he the answer long term? That's a story for another day. The season's starting now. We got to get to the season. Let's see. Let's focus on that. On that. You know what I'm saying? Also, come check me out. Born for Sports. My ad is BORN 4 SPORTZ 75. Come see me. I talk all sports. Giants, of course, number one. Of course, my Giants, Knicks, Mets, whatever you want to talk about. Let's get into it, and I'll see you there.
Listen, man, I need all my Giant soldiers. Make sure y'all put your salutes in the chat. Salutes in the chat. Salute, salute, salute. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. We will be back very soon. And until next time.